Hey, 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 happy Halloween. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, incredibly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. Happy Halloween, everybody. Tonight is Monday, October 31st, 2022. This is live stream 844. I think. Pretty sure. I'm almost positive. Forgot to double check. But yes, I'm pretty sure it's live stream number 844. This is your first time joining me. Let me point out, super casual around here. I mean, we're not performing rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. Just hanging out, talking about tabletop games. So, sharing the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking a look at a game. And tonight will be no different. And for Halloween, we are taking a look at something spooky, kids. Spooky. That's right. I am going to take a first look and page through Delta Green Iconoclasts from Arc Dream Publishing. Yes, this hardcover just came out. This has been out in PDF for a while, but the hardcover is now just arriving in stores. So we're going to be diving on in and taking a peek at that in just a bit. Do want to mention, if you're not familiar with the stream, keep in mind we tackled the tabletop gaming news first, and then we'll dive on into a look or sometimes a review of a game. So if you're tuning in because you want to see the first look at Delta Green Iconoclasts, keep in mind, be about 30 to 35 minutes before we jump on in. Should point out that when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, such as, oh, I don't know, this video, feel free to swing on over to thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. Yes. Of course, because this is a live stream, I should point out chat is available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in and I will do my best to respond. For some reason, my voice is kind of off right now. Of course, I've been handing out candy for the past 4 hours, wishing kids happy Halloween and that. But yeah, my voice is kind of scratchy all of a sudden. Kind of strange. Kind of strange. So far, the Happy War Gamer was first out the gate tonight, pointing out there's no baseball. That's right. It is rained out. So the World Series has been pushed back a day. Give maybe the Phillies a little time to get things in order. I don't know. Stray Kismet's with us, and Flaming Huron, who happens to be one of our chat moderators, is with us as well. So let's jump on into the news because I've got quite a bit tonight Making its way into stores here in the States early next year is Living Forest from Pegasus Spiele. Here's the scoop. A mystical forest, a source of rest and peace, is facing the devastating flames of Onibi. In Living Forest, players take on the roles of four spirits of nature: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, to protect the forest by fending off the flames, planting trees, or awakening the forest's guardian. Who will succeed in stopping Onibi? In each round, players, each for themselves, turn over cards from their decks that show different guardian animals. These helpful forest creatures bring various elements with them. But be careful. Among the animals are some solitary creatures that don't mix well with others. With the elements, the players can perform one or two actions and thus plant trees, extinguish fires, move on the circle of spirits to activate various bonuses, attract new animals, or receive magic fragments. At the end of each round, all players must together face the remaining flames in the circle. They cannot fend them off. They have to add Fire Varen cards to their deck. Grouchy, solitary animals that do not contribute any elements. The only way to get rid of them is with magic fragments. Game ends as soon as one person manages to fulfill one of the three possible victory conditions. Living Forest is an advanced fantasy game or a light core game with a push your luck mechanic and beautiful illustrations. Although all players work toward a common goal to save the forest, only one person can win in the end. Living Forest is for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, plays in around 30 to 60 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $44.99 when it hits stores in early 2023. I gotta say, this looks very interesting, looks very striking as well. I know there had been, like, the game plan was this should be out in December, but it is not looking like that is going to happen. It looks like this is going to arrive probably in January of next year. Now available in stores from Hachette Games is Northgard Uncharted Lands. And here's the latest. Based on the universe of the Northgard video game, Northgard Uncharted Lands is a game of conquest and exploration set in the age of Vikings. Each player controls a Viking clan looking to achieve victory by reaping glory in various ways or controlling the most prized territories of this new continent. Game focus is on streamlined rules and mechanisms, allowing for a fast paced and smooth rhythm of play. Each turn, players alternate their actions to adapt their strategies to their opponent's moves and the expansion of the board. Fame, i.e., points, can be earned by exploring, fighting, and controlling and developing territories. The various corresponding actions are played through the cards that the players have in hand. At the end of each turn, they have to choose a new card to improve their personal deck as their clans develop new tactics and techniques. The conquest of Northgard also requires clever management of resources to build new buildings, improve your warriors' effectiveness, better your hand of cards, and upgrade your clan's specificities. The winter phase makes this management more difficult as you have to feed your units to keep them healthy and happy. The pace of the game is set by the players as the game ends after 7 turns, but can also be cut short at any time if one of them is in control of 3 closed territories hosting certain types of buildings. Northgard Uncharted Lands is for 2 to 5 players, ages 13 and up, plays around 45 to 90 minutes, and carries an MSRP of $89.99. So as you can see, it has quite a few miniatures as part of the game, and there's a bit of a tile laying mechanic to the game. So the Uncharted Lands are not going to be the same in each and every game. Could be pretty interesting. I know I experimented a little bit with the video game Northgard. I didn't get too far in it though. Not actually anything against the game at all. It's something else popped up that I got my hands on. I was like, oh, let's start playing that instead. So 245 Trioxin and Coco B are with us in chat. Coco B points out that they're taking the kids out to go door to door for raisins and candy corn. So, well, happy Halloween. Enjoy. Move on to some role playing game news. Because arriving in mid November from Free League Publishing is Cyborg, a science fiction take on Mirkberg. Here's the skinny. You know how I love saying that. Mirkberg. Oh my God. Another big old spider coming down. Now, this time the spider's closer to me. In fact, it's right up on me. Yes, it is the kingdom of spiders, and it's Halloween. So, isn't that perfect? Get out of here. Funny, I think it's the same spider that I moved before the stream started. And I thought he was it. Shouldn't say he. It was on the floor. And all of a sudden now it's dropping back down here. I don't know. I don't know. But oh, see, too bad the screen was so small. But yeah, it was actually like right here. So I'll have to take a peek at the recording afterwards, see if it actually made an appearance or not. All right, so Cyborg is a complete rules light, rage heavy tabletop role playing game based on and compatible with Mirkberg. Easy to play, easy to hack. In it, you'll find a drive-by description of the megacity Psy after the incident. From its rotting slums where gangs, cults, and military corporations wage war, to the blinding scraper forests, neon cathedrals, and hollow shimmering arcologies of Central, and the toxic industrial hell zones shrouded in poisonous but sustainable planet trademark certified death smog. Quick and dirty character creation, where the roll of the dice determines who your punk is, what they're capable of, and who they owe money to. There's D66 miserable headlines making the rounds on the news and feeds with varying regularity, each one heralding chaos and destruction, wrecking the city until the cataclysmic conclusion 7 headlines in. A minimal, simple system designed to stay out of the way and be easily modded and customized. Rulings before rules. Morkborg, as people are now allowed to actually call the game, at its core is basically what we're looking at with a few tweaks and updates. There are optional rules and tables. Add tactical crunch to your violence with combat bonds for cover, suppressive fire, and more. 6 classes for your class war, including the Forsaken Gangoon, the Shunned Nanomancer, and the Renegade Cyber Slasher. Tables adding depth and character to your punk, such as style, quirks, and current obsession. Random generators facilitating near endless play. Missions, locations, corporations, cults, and NPCs populating the accelerating apocalypse. There's also equipment of varying legality, like guns and specialized ammo booster plugins, intelligent body armor, cyber tech, decks fitted with custom amps, and almost controllable nano powers with their latent infestations. There's over 25 foes to fight, from the countless soldiers of the Sec Corps and gangs to corrupted nano freaks, soulless drones, and sidroids, state of the art combat vehicles, and the ethereal digital apparitions classified as ghosts. Also includes an introductory heist, Lucky Flight Takedown, Scope and infiltrate the Lucky Flight Casino, clear the debt data, and or shut the whole operation down. Should be a quick and easy job, right? Highly doubt it. The 166-page hardcover digest, including the PDF, will carry an MSRP of $49.99. That is arriving on November 15th. As far as I understand, the PDF is arriving at the same time. I do not have a price on it, although I will take a guess. We're probably looking about $19.99 because I think that was originally the Mirkberg PDF price. Although I think now it's like $15.99. But I don't think that's what Cyborg will be, seeing that Cyborg is going to be brand new. Perkins Dearborn points out, looks cool. But they have had problems getting friends to play Cyberpunk. It is tricky. Getting people to play Cyberpunk is rather tricky. And yes, Perkins asks if I've read any of the novels. Yes, I've actually read four of the William Gibson books. I haven't read much William Gibson as of late, but then again, I don't think William Gibson really writes too much cyberpunk anymore. Who was the other pretty well-known cyberpunk? John Williams? Walter John Williams, that was it. We're going way back. We're probably talking 1990s. I read some of his cyberpunk novels as well, but I really haven't read much lately. Gotta be honest. I gotta be honest too. Outside of role playing games, I don't know how popular cyberpunk actually is as a fictional genre anymore. Frickin' says, yeah, the main authors. Yeah, sort of. I'm sure there's quite a few others out there. It's just off the top of my head. Those are the two that I recall reading. In fact, it's been so long, but I think the Walter John Williams book was Hardwired. So, Farewell Horizontal was the last book he read. I think that's a William Gibson title there. Moving right along, there is a fantastic Humble Bundle that's being featured, and it includes both Pathfinder and Starfinder role-playing games from our friends over at Paizo Inc. Here's the deets on the deal. Unwrap a lifetime of role-playing. Give the gift of boundless adventure. What? Give it a gift? Hell with that. Keep it for yourself. And then buy another one to give away. This epic bundle from Paizo provides everything heroes need to explore the rich realms of Pathfinder and Starfinder role-playing, including digital rulebooks, exploration handbooks, adventure paths, and lots more player and game master resources. Plus, when you pay $45 or more, you'll get a physical edition of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner's Box from Paizo. Shipping and handling is not included in that price. It is the perfect package to equip yourself or the would-be hero in your life for countless adventures to come. Journey across fantastic realms and among the stars, and help support the Carl Brandon Society with your purchase. You should note the offer includes recent Burning Tundra Adventure Path, which is for Pathfinder, as well as Against the Iron Throne, which is a Starfinder adventure path. These were both 3-parters. They are part of this bundle. You can actually jump on board for $5, which is a little unusual. Usually you can get things for $1, but not in this case. But your $5 is going to get you PDFs of both starter sets. So you get both the Pathfinder and Starfinder beginner boxes, once again, in PDF. You can grab all 41 PDFs, which are part of this offer, for a $25 donation, or grab all the PDFs as well as that Pathfinder beginner box for a $45 donation. You can score these savings through November 16th, and once again, your purchase will benefit the Carl Brandon Society. I talk about this from time to time that people ask, how are they able to jump on board Pathfinder or Starfinder, that they're interested in checking out either one or both, and they're kind of afraid to jump in because there's already so much out there for both systems. And I say it all the time, keep your eyes peeled, because Humble Bundle, about 3 times a year, maybe more, maybe less, but to me it feels like it's about 3 times a year, will run a bundle like this, where it's like, oh my gosh, you have got to snag this because it is an excellent deal. And also has the oh my gosh, now I'm zoning out on it. The Burning Tundra. I almost wanted to say Broken Tusk Moon, but that was the first chapter of it. It's got the Burning Tundra Pathfinder Adventure Path, which I liked. I thought it was fun. I thought it was pretty nicely put together. So there you have it. The Madman is with us. Happy Halloween. So Flaming Heron says, yes, it's a perfect way to get into either system for the smallest outlay. Yeah, for $5, you can get both starter sets. In fact, for the $5, it's 10 PDFs. So I believe for the $5, well, I know for a fact you get the 2 beginner boxes, and you also get the first chapter in each of those 2 adventure paths I was talking about, and 6 more PDFs. So that's only $5. The Bestiary, Game Master's Guide, all of that stuff for Pathfinder is part of the $45 pledge level. So I should say donation level. It's not a pledge. All right, on to our last news piece, now available in PDF from Modiphius Entertainment, is Dune Adventures in the Imperium, Masters of Dune. Here's what I know. The battle for Arrakis begins. Your house has claimed the wealth of Arrakis, but can they hold onto that power when so many want to take it from them? You've already uncovered a deadly enemy, but plenty more covet what you've worked so hard to control. You're going to need allies, but who can you trust? The mysterious Bene Gesserit, the elusive Spacing Guild, or perhaps even the Emperor himself. But each faction has their own agenda, and the knife in the shadows lies behind every smile. Continuing the alternate what-if scenario begun in Agents of Dune, the stakes become higher as deadly enemies seek the downfall of your house to claim Arrakis and the power of spice themselves. Player characters must leave the desert world of Arrakis and travel across the Imperium to get the support they need to fight their enemies. As each section of the campaign can be played through in any order, it's very much up to the players to decide on the best plan of action and lead their house into glory or destruction. Masters of Dune is an epic 166-page campaign that can be run on its own or as a continuation of the Agents of Dune boxed set. Play as a renowned House Nagara, or create a new house of your own to tame Arrakis. Over the campaign's 9 explosive chapters, your characters will seek out the elusive Fremen to gain their trust and allegiance, if you can navigate their mysterious customs and rituals. Engage in exciting space battles on behalf of the mysterious guild, taking on lethal pirates in the void between worlds. Visit the deadly House Harkonnen on the industrial hellscape of Jedi Prime, where poison and treachery lie behind every corner. Find spice on Arrakis to quench the insatiable need of the Imperium. even though it can never be enough to satisfy the hunger of the known universe. Discover the wisdom of the secretive Bene Gesserit as you pass their deadly tests and prove yourself worthy of the Sisterhood's trust. Trust. Sisterhood's trust. English, Jeff. Read it correctly. Politic on Kadain against the Emperor and the Landstrad Council, where you might play one side against another if you have the cunning. I have a cunning plan, me lord, and skill for such deceit in the ultimate game. Travel from Arrakis across the Imperium to seek new allies, resources, and favors that might tip the balance of power in the universe. The wealth of Arrakis may be yours, but you are going to have to fight to keep it. Every choice you make will determine the future of your house, for good or ill. Will you fall to ruin on the sands of Arrakis, or are you strong enough to survive and become true masters of Dune? While Masters of Dune is a complete adventure, you do need access to the game rules to play. The Dune Adventures in the Imperium core rulebook has these rules in their most complete form. However, the Agents of Dune campaign box set, which I have reviewed and do think is very cool, also contains all you'd need to play. The 166-page PDF is available at DriveThruRPG right now for $35, while the hardcover is going to carry an MSRP of $52 when it arrives at the end of November. Sweet. So, yes, the story of Dune continues. Although I am surprised this is not a box set. This is a hardcover adventure book. And it picks up where Agents of Dune left off. I would have thought that Modiphius Entertainment would have gone with another box set, but I guess not. So, like, okay. But yeah, the box set itself, very cool with the various different like NPC cards and gear cards. Really, really well done. Very, very nice. So nice to see that the story is getting even more deadly, I guess, is what I would say. Kathy Evans is with us in chat. So Strike Kismet asks if anyone else read all the books. I read the first 3, and then it sort of to me fizzled out. So I have not read any of the books by Frank Herbert's son, and there's another author that he teams up with. I have not read any of those, so I don't know what to tell you. But I personally think the first 2 books in the Dune series are excellent. It's actually, to me, the underlying story is a lot different than I think a lot of people think it is. So I think Frank Herbert was trying to say something about false prophets. So anyway, that is it for the news tonight. Of course, I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads, and that way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always make a small donation by going over to paypal.me/thegaminggang. And I highly appreciate everybody out there who uses the banner ads to visit the One Bookshelf sites. like DM's Guild or DriveThruRPG, etc. And for those who kick in a few bucks every once in a while over at paypal.me. Thank you kindly, everybody. 'Cause my hair's just like in my face constantly. I gotta get my hair cut. It's just it's getting way too long right now. At least it's not COVID lockdown long. Yes. Also, do want to point out there are only a couple of days left in the 50/50 game sale to benefit Extra Life. So keep that in mind. Only a couple of days left. It's running through November 2nd. And there are about 180 games that are still available as well. Sweet. All righty then. So I got a couple of videos I want to share with you. First off, the Madman, or as we like to call him around this time of year, Mr. Halloween, has sent me a video of the setup at his house for Halloween. And then I took the video my brother has shared of his house. I'll be sharing that in a moment too. But first, let's take a peek. This is Halloween over at the Madman's right now. Actually, I was gonna say this year, but I was just right now. So let's take a peek. Yes. Scary kids, scary. It's Dr. Tongue's House of Stewardesses. Okay, so next video, this one's a little bit longer. This is almost 3 minutes. Is actually my brother Greg's house. So see what's going on there right now. All right, there you go. And of course, the final episode of the Gaming Gang October Spooktacular is already out. So I put that out there today at 6 p.m. Central. Normally it was 9 o'clock. So holy jamoli. 31 episodes again. I was amazed. I thought for sure something was going to happen and be like, oh, crap. You know, I'm 20 days in and something. No, I was actually able to get a new episode up each and every night. So, Batman says, very nice. Really liking this setup. Wish he had more room for his display. And Animatronics don't like bad weather. Yes, that is for sure. Just like my brother, they have a townhouse. They don't have much of a lawn. So it's like everything's all packed in there. And it's really funny because he's won, I think 3 years in a row, they have a Halloween decorating contest and he wins. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, because for one, like 90% of the people in his neighborhood don't decorate at all. So it's like, and none of them go into it like he and my sister-in-law do. So, and of course, the Madman terrifying children in Michigan as well. All right, so we are going to be diving on in and taking a first look at Delta Green Iconoclasts in just a moment. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building. Every item a fresh, appetizing taste treat.
What are those spooks doing?
Serving Wilkins tea. It's out of this world. Finest tea served, ghost to ghost.
I'm Vincent Price, and you're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people. So won't you come and make it 8? You'll see human heads without bodies. Mysterious pools of blood dripping from the ceiling. The walls move slowly in against you. Don't try to escape, you can't. You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me in the house on Haunted Hill? Hurry, or you'll be late for your own funeral.
Yes, Wilkins lives. Well, what's with all those other ghosts? And interestingly enough, if you were paying close attention, they were advertising Wilkins tea, but then it shows coffee. So that must be an ad that is pieced together because it should have shown tea. Anyway, Stray Kismet mentioned sure, sure, sure. So I wonder if they're commenting about Donovan's Brain, which was the two-parter that I wrapped up Halloween with. So there you go. So Flaming Aaron says apologies to everyone wearing headphones. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. And I actually have a limiter so that it doesn't get too loud, but it was like, holy cow. Yeah, Stray Kismet says, yup. Yeah, I think Orson Welles just did a fantastic job going from the self-absorbed scientist to the creepy criminal Donovan, William H. Donovan. All righty. So let's jump on in and take a first look at Delta Green, Iconoclasts from Arc Dream Publishing. It's written by Adam Scott Glancy with artwork provided by Dennis Detwiller. This 206-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $44.99, and you can grab the PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Right now, the Halloween sale is going on, and you can get it probably through the end of the day for $15.99. Let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Iconoclasts. Ta-da! So, as I had mentioned previously, this hardcover has just come out. I will point out it shows fingerprints off pretty easily. So, take a peek at the back here. I do want to mention the fine folks over at Arc Dream Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. We do already have a written review of Delta Green Iconoclasts at thegaminggang.com if you'd like to check that out. But we had never actually taken a look at the book. So the fine folks, once again, at Arc Dream were kind enough to send this along. But of course, neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang received any sort of other compensation for me to share this look with you. It's important that you know that. The Father of War Unleashed. Born of the U.S. government's 1928 raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts, which was also featured in the spooktacular, all 5 parts of the BBC radio production of The Shadow over Innsmouth. Although they kept calling it Innsmouth. No idea why. The covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor, but without glory. Delta Green agents fight to save humanity from unnatural horrors, often at a shattering cost. Iconoclast brings a team of agents to a scene of horrors all too real. Mosul, in 2016, held by the self-styled Islamic State in a reign of depraved brutality. From a small base at the Kirkuk airfield, the agents must research the horrors to come and prepare for a harrowing infiltration. Then we get breakdown of each of the adventures we're going to take a peek at right here already. So I'm not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a good feel for what is in this campaign. And this is a campaign. These adventures are all intertwined. So it's important to keep that in mind. I gotta be honest, I think this might actually be the first campaign for this edition of Delta Green. Because I think off the top of my head, the other hardcovers that have come out, like adventure books for Delta Green, they have been standalone adventures in them. So, like I said, I believe this is a first. Iconoclasts is an extended Delta Green operation set in 2016. The program learns of a lethal incursion of unnatural power in the heart of war-torn Mosul. Case officers and analysts must investigate and confirm the scope of the incursion and gather resources to deploy against it. Finally, a team of agents must infiltrate ISIL territory to contain the incursion before it spreads beyond control. So there are 3 scenarios in this overall adventure. So we have neighborhoods and important sites of Mosul, getting a breakdown of ISIL in 2016. Now, in one of these scenarios, the players actually take on the roles of members of the Islamic State, which is a little strange, I think. I don't know how comfortable a lot of players out there would be in that scenario off the top of my head. Something you should keep in mind as well, if you are not overly familiar with Delta Green, is that these horror adventures tend to be for mature audiences. So I know like Call of Cthulhu can get pretty dark. These can get even darker. So it's important that you keep that in mind. Also, if you are somebody who likes to role play more military sort of characters in that, Delta Green is a perfect role playing game for that as well. You're not necessarily active military, but you could easily play operatives as well as mercenaries or retired military, things like that. Those are just taking a peek here. A black smoke rising. In this opening scenario, the players take the roles of non-Delta Green characters. They will play regular agents in the rest of the campaign. Do not tell the players they are playing out an event that their agents will eventually investigate, but assure them that this opening session is a prelude with temporary characters. This is what I'm talking about with the Islamic State characters. Perkins points out very high production quality, looks look very well made and laid out. Yeah, that is one thing that Arc Dream Publishing does very, very well is uh, present the information cleanly, clearly. There's usually a lot going on in the adventures. I'll be the first to point out some of the Delta Green adventures. I mean, the stories in that are cool. It's just I can't possibly see running those adventures for my players or at my table because sometimes they're just really, really bizarre. So, and like I said before, this is aimed at mature players. So this is not, hey, we're going to play this horror game and we're going to include my 12-year-old nephew or something. It's like, no, 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 no. Right. So as you can see, these aren't just real short, 5-6 page adventures either. There's quite a bit going on in here. So then we've got our player characters, our temporary player characters. So if you're not familiar with Delta Green, I know there is a misconception that it is part of Call of Cthulhu, which originally it was. It was an offshoot of Call of Cthulhu, and it used the Call of Cthulhu core rules. That is not the case anymore. It is its own game. It is still a D100 game. You still have skills and percentiles and things like that, but it is not Call of Cthulhu. So it's not a setting for Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu. So here we have part 2, Operation Bone Box. Once the players have experienced the horror of the release of the Father of War, that part of the campaign is over. Its repercussions have only begun. Now the players switch to Agents of Delta Green. The agents are members of the program, the official version of Delta Green. They've been selected for a mission to go into northern Iraq, into territory currently controlled by ISIL. They're to track down the incursion released by the ISIL team, identify its weaknesses, and eliminate it. So we get some briefing info. And we have part 3, The Evil of the Whisperer. Mid-morning on 2 April 2016, agents land at the airport outside Kirkuk, a city controlled by the Kurdish Peshmerga. I'm sure I mispronounced that. Kurdish forces rush to and fro, unloading and refueling aircraft as part of the logistic lifeline that supports Operation Conquest. The agents are challenged for identification multiple times. Their documents hold up. Roll the dice anyway, just to make the players sweat. Perkins says, I do not know anyone that would be into this dark horror. I tend to play games that would be suitable for middle school kids. Kathy points out there's a channel on Twitch that features Delta Green. It's a good game. I'm not saying that every adventure is kind of like a hard R, you know, not saying that, but I am saying there are some that there's a sexual nature to some of the adventures. Not, you know, not like weird stuff going on at your table, but there's certain, you know, like I said, it's for a mature audience. All right, so this is The Evil of the Whisperer. Of course, we're just taking a first peek. I just want to share what this looks like here. And I know a lot of folks out there are curious about Delta Green and maybe have never dipped their toes into the system. It's a good system. It really is. And especially if you're looking for a modern horror game that deals with the mythos. And it's kind of interesting too, because you have kind of 2 branches of Delta Green. So you've got the official government, you know, agency that really, you know, doesn't exist, right? You know? And then we have the outlaws who are like former Delta Green members, but they're still carrying on the fight. It's very interesting. The backstory in that for Delta Green is very, very interesting. And there's another Delta Green game, Fall of Delta Green, which is from Pelgrane Press, and it uses a completely different system. It's if I remember correctly, it's all D6, and it's 1960s, and a lot of it takes place like in Vietnam and stuff like that. It's another very, very interesting offshoot, I guess we'll say, of Delta Green. It is, I believe, if I remember correctly, it is licensed from Arc Dream or Pelgrane to use it. And I want to say, off the top of my head, I think Ken Hite wrote it. And if you're into any Cthulhu role-playing games, you know Ken Hite. So, right, part 4, Among Jinn and Men. Confronting the Father of War at last means crossing from Kurdish-controlled areas into ISIL territory and ultimately Mosul itself. Operation Bonebox cannot be concluded by a proxy forces and intelligence assets. A drone strike could kill the sons of war, I should say, but it would not trouble the father of war, and the response would only expose more people to its threat. The agents must neutralize the father of war themselves. All right. Something else about this campaign that I do want to point out is that just the fact that it's taking place in the Middle East, you are dealing with Iraq, the Islamic State. That might be tricky for some players and some game masters as well. But you got to give credit to the author for tackling this subject matter. You really do. And I will clue you in. This did get a nice score in its review. So, part 5, Blacker Than Black. In part 3, The Evil of the Whisperer, the agents pursue a campaign of intelligence gathering and black operations as they zero in on their target in occupied Mosul. These rules allow the handler to present the challenges and risks that they face. And as you can tell, I'm skipping pages here. I'm not, we're skipping huge chunks. So we've got our appendix, which we had a breakdown of the Father of War, who is an avatar of Nyarlathotep. We get some sample names, organization chart, handler's eyes only, and then we have some additional characters. So these can be utilized by the players. I don't think these are the NPCs, if I remember off the top of my head. I want to say these are pre-gens. And we get some credit for the playtesters as well as an index. And that is Delta Green Iconoclasts from Arc Dream Publishing. This is now out in hardcover. It carries an MSRP of $44.99, and you can get the PDF on sale right now at DriveThruRPG, at least through the end of the night during the Halloween sale for $15.99. Normally, it is $19.99. And Quantum Phase Dragon has joined us. Welcome aboard. Let's swing on over to the other camera. I hope I didn't come across like too negatively talking about this, because I certainly did not mean it to be that way. It's just, in my opinion, it's very important that people understand what they're involving themselves in with some of these role-playing games. And a lot of times when I say, oh, it's for a mature audience, people are like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then it's like, holy shit. They're like reading the adventure, like, whoa, it's blowing my mind. Like, I told you, I warned you. Sweet. All righty. Well, just kind of rock through tonight. It's only an hour. We've done an hour here. Sweet. Usually we're just, oh, look, it's 20 after. It's like, geez. All righty. So, what is coming up this week? Well, tomorrow, I am going to unbox and take a first look at Shake That City from AEG. This is coming to Kickstarter at the end of November. Off the top of my head, I think it's November 29th. So we're going to dive in. We're going to take a peek at this. And then, of course, I will be sharing my thoughts about it as well. As you can see, this is pretty much the finished product. So it's, I guess, on Kickstarter as far as being along the lines of, order fulfillment. And then on Wednesday, we are going to take a look at Wretched Space, which is from the Red Room. So they sent me a trio of their Wretched books. We're going to dive on in and take a peek at Wretched Space on Wednesday. All righty then. So that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as tomorrow's review of Pathfinder Crown of the Kobold King from Paizo Inc. I was trying to get this done today before the kids started showing up. And I just couldn't get it done. So I will have that out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. Those of you who are watching live, thank you very much. Hope you've had a fantastic Halloween. Enjoy your Halloween. If you were taking part in chat, extra experience points for you, because not only were you keeping me company, but you're keeping each other company too, while I'm, pontificating and blabbing along. So, of course, I know a lot of you out there, you don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. I really do appreciate each and every one of you taking time out to watch any of the videos on the YouTube channel. As all of a sudden, my throat gets all scratchy. My voice has been weird. Been very, I don't know, very scratchy tonight. Of course, I have been talking a lot today, so that may have something to do with it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as I mentioned, not all of you can watch live. Thank you very much for taking time out to watch any of the videos here on the channel. Of course, I'll be back next month. And I certainly hope each and every one of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming. Your gang.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, that's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.